HubDoc is our document scanning software, and best way to use it, or best way to describe it rather, is it's a software where you can upload all your purchase invoices, and the software itself will extract the supplier name, the date, the description, the amount, and also the VAT from the invoice. So all your bookkeepers, rather than being people who sit down and type up all this information on an invoice, they actually become reviewers of the work that has been done by the software. This definitely can save quite a lot of time. And in the practice that I used to work at, no one was actually allowed to sit down and start typing up invoices. And whenever any one of our clients came in to drop the work, one of the things that the manager partner at the practice made sure was everyone in the office was Xero certified, Xero trained. So even the receptionist at the front desk was Xero certified and could use HubDoc. So whenever any clients came in and dropped off their work, between phone calls, the receptionist was scanning all of these invoices into the software. The very first time that a bookkeeper would actually have to have a look at any invoices that have come through was when they were actually sitting in HubDoc ready to be uploaded into Xero. And with HubDoc, you can actually automate this process to a point, and being an online tool, and it uses AI and trains itself. So the more invoices that you put in, the more it recognizes what type of expense to allocate it to, and the less work you'll have to do as you go along. So if you think of expenses like telephone bills, which always look the same month on month, the first time that you do it, you show it where to allocate it. The second time, it will actually remember what you did the first time. Then if on the third try that it's picking up all this information correctly, you can use a feature that we call auto publish. And as soon as that invoice comes in, it is automatically published directly into Xero. So you won't even have to jump into HubDoc to see that invoice because it's already in Xero. HubDoc and Xero, as you can see, definitely the two of them integrate. And any invoice that you post through HubDoc, an image of the invoice is also saved in Xero. And you can also use HubDoc and link it to your Dropbox. So as the invoices come in, you also have them saved on HubDoc itself, in Xero, and in Dropbox. You have multiple places where you have backup of a backup as well. So that is a very, very useful bit of HubDoc. Then Practice Manager, that will be the next thing that I quickly touch on, which is the job management tool. Practice Manager allows your employees to record time, how long it took them to do any of the jobs. And for today, it's all about productivity and profitability. And the only way you can view whether you're being productive on any job is by being able to record how long it took you to do the job, and comparing how long it took you last month, or even how long it took a different employee to do the exact same job. Then this is how you can identify which ones of your employees actually need training, or identify any gaps in your internal processes, because you may be undercharging for a job. And the only way that you can fix that is if you start recording how long it takes you to do the job. With Practice Manager as well, it is a job management tool and can be used for planning what's going to happen in the future. So as you can see, some of the example companies that I have on the screen, Apple, BMW, and Ford Motor Companies seem to be running a really successful practice. But for each and every one of those jobs, I know exactly when the job is going to be starting and when it's going to be ending. Practice Manager allows you to create what we call recurring jobs. So as the time approaches for you to start chasing that information, the employee, the partner, and the manager who actually work on the job will get notifications in their emails to say, it's time for you to start chasing this information from the client. And you can see on Practice Manager as well, it provides you with a small calendar. And this calendar is unique to each and every employee based on the jobs that they are working on. And it can show you the important dates and also what needs to be done and all the deadlines that you have for that particular week. Another one of the tools that we have at Xero is Xero Work Papers. Xero Work Papers does exact working papers. A lot of practices tend to use Excel or Google Sheets for their working papers. But what we notice is because it's sitting on a separate platform, quite a lot of work has to be done for you to import and export. And also, especially if it's on Excel, any updates that are made on the spreadsheets do not automatically feed back into the software itself. However, if you are using Xero work papers, because it integrates with Xero, all the figures that you are seeing on this, that you will be going through, whether it's your fixed asset amount or your bank reconciliation, any updates that you do on the work paper, journals can then be automatically posted from Xero work papers directly into your Xero software. Zero work papers also allows you to do your review points, whether it's review points to the manager or review questions to the manager when an employee is not sure, or to the partner. And there's also the ability to have review points down where the manager, if they're not sure of something, they can ask the employee who's done the job, or even the partner who's who's responsible for the job, can also ask the other two any questions on anything. Zero Work Papers also has a portal that we created, which allows you to ask queries to your client. So if ever you're not sure on anything through this portal, you can ask your clients the questions and you can choose what type of answer you're looking to get from your employee. And on the screen, you can see I have a client query and the type of answer that I'm looking for is text. And I'm just asking, was this fixed asset purchase for personal use or was it a business purchase? And other types of answers that you can actually get can be a yes or no. And you can also just ask them to do an attachment where you need evidence for maybe purchase of a fixed asset and you need to see that invoice. If it's missing, then you can always request it through the use of Zero Work Papers. So it is a very handy tool. And another thing that I would love to mention about Zero Work Papers is that it works out your materiality as well. So anything that is immaterial or it will automatically be checked as already done. But if you need to review it, you can always go back into it. Then lastly, it's Zero itself and viewing it as a platform.